a nonprofit organization. As an overview of the following presentation, we'll see the mission of the nonprofit, the mission statement, the definition of refugee, legal issues such as torts and privacy issues, contracts, type of legal organization, employment, property, sustainability, economic and environmental, COVID 19, economic sustainability as focus issue. The mission of A Second Chance is to provide local language instruction to assist in the educational and employment reintegration of those who arrive to the United States as refugees unexpectedly and seek to adapt to the country. As mission statement, A Second Chance aims to provide intellectual and cultural tools so that these individuals can adapt and feel included in the community, thus avoiding self-segregation and self-discrimination. We also facilitate relationships with human resources departments of various companies that promote employment for immigrants. Refugee. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, a refugee is an alien who, generally, has experienced past persecution or has a well-founded fear of persecution on account of race, religion, nationality, membership in a particular social group, or political opinion. Some of the list of legal issues that will be seen on this presentation are the following. Starting with torts and privacy issues, all personal information of those who participate in our organization will be kept in private so that no information that could negatively influence them is disclosed. It is important to ensure a safe environment for all those who participate in our organization. This will be achieved by creating a computer database where only authorized personnel will be able to access, as well as creating the necessary measures to ensure that this information is secure. This will help protect our information and theirs and prevent future lawsuits for sharing private information. Contracts. A Second Chance will conduct the recruitment of employees who can perform the main tasks so that the organization can carry out the mission without any problems. We will start with the search of the following job positions: immigration lawyer, who will oversee providing legal assistance to all those who have doubts about their legal status in the country; an accountant, who will be responsible for supervising and analyzing the expenses to be incurred in the company; psychologist, who will be a person in charge of maintaining a psychological follow-up with the participants of our classes to provide emotional support for everyone, since most of these people have gone through traumatic situations. A community manager will oversee managing all types of information related to social media management, contacts with potential sponsors, and the creation of events to benefit A Second Chance every 3 to 6 months in order to raise funds for the nonprofit to operate. ESL teachers. In principle, 4 teachers will be hired to teach English classes at different levels, depending on the demand and the level of knowledge that the participants have of English. We will seek to choose teachers who have a third language, preferably Spanish and Arabic, as these are the languages spoken in the countries from which most refugees come to the United States. These employees will have the opportunity to select 3 additional people to form their team who will serve as support to address areas of concern more efficiently and effectively. Bilateral contracts will be created with each of these employees, establishing that the top 8 will be paid a minimum salary of $30 per hour, offering a workload of 40 hours per week. For the rest of the employees, a salary between the range of $20 and $25 an hour will be offered, which will depend on the number of hours they work, the tasks assigned to them, and the responsibilities they carry in the team, considering that the minimum wage established by the state of Washington in 2022 is of $14.49 an hour. To each of the employees, our organization will oversee offering all the benefits established by state and federal laws. Among other benefits, employees will enjoy 2 weeks of paid vacations, federal holidays, 5 sick days, and a wellness day will be added 1 day per month to promote a healthy work area. A second chance will focus on contracts with possible sponsors that have crossover with the mission that a second chance has, as well as the creation of agreements so that all those who wish to participate as volunteers are established the proper rules and conditions that entail being a volunteer for our organization. The creation of bilateral contracts will also be carried out with universities that are interested in including a second chance as an option for students to carry out their pre professional practices, from which we will benefit both as well as we will be able to obtain help for free, both as well as the students because they will acquire knowledge and practice in the labor area. Type of legal organization. A second chance will be a non-profit organization in charge of working to support those people who have entered the United States in search of refuge and who wish to improve their level of English, which in turn will make it easier for them to search for and obtain jobs with which they can establish themselves in the country. For our organization to be exempt from paying taxes, it must demonstrate that it is organized and operated exclusively for charitable purposes, and none of the earnings will be destined to any private shareholders or individuals. This requires registration for the Washington Nonprofit Article of Incorporations with the Washington State Secretary of Corporations. A Form 501c3 will be needed to be filed and follow the steps that the IRS requires us to apply as a nonprofit organization. Employment. For employees who will be hired permanently in the organization, they will be asked to complete a list of files where they can provide personal and labor information relevant to the position for which they are applying. Once this screening has passed, the chosen applicants will be asked for background checks, verifiable references, and a short video or essay in which they explain why they would like to be part of our organization. For those interested in volunteer, they will be asked to complete a form with a series of personal information and which will have as requirements. For all those applicants from 16 years of age to 18, they will be asked to have an authorization from their legal guardian giving consent for them to participate, as well as all those over 18 years of age must sign a consent that states that following federal as well as state laws provides that a volunteer is not liable for merely negligent acts or omission, but can be liable for gross negligence within the scope of the organization. Since our organization will have less than 25 employees, they will be offered benefits such as a payment of their medical insurance, PTO, retirement benefits, as well as sick days. Property. To protect and benefit from the use of our name and logo, a second chance will create a trademark of its name, which will seek the protection of the intellectual property of the organization. A board of directors, made up of the 8 main employees of the organization, will also be created to guarantee the common good. Regarding the physical property of the organization, a second chance count with a house in downtown Seattle that has been donated, which will be registered as the base of the organization. The building is in optimal conditions and only the adaptation itself will be needed to be able to teach classes in the facilities. In this way, a building will be in use and the organization will have an email address as required by federal and state laws. Sustainability. For the organization to prevail in the future and help many people, we must ensure that the necessary measures are taken to make this possible. From the environmental side of focus, we will center our focus on being environmentally friendly in every possible way. Measures will be taken such as the installation of solar panels that help with energy savings, recycling savings. A recycling, compost, and disposable system will be followed, as well as a community garden that can provide some fruits and vegetables in the garden of the house that will be free of consumption. From an economic point of view, to guarantee the prosperity of the organization, we will seek the support of the state of Washington, local volunteers, and we will try to contact possible sponsors that will provide the necessary tools to create the educational and recreational space that we envision. We will apply for different grants from foundations that help organizations across the country, And we will also organize charity events every 3 to 6 months, depending on how a second chance is doing financially. These events will be changing so that they are innovative and promote the arrival of more people who wish to collaborate with the cause. We will look for our organization to have a strong presence in the most important social networks, where we will be able to show testimonies of people who is participating in the course, as well as to have as a focus to show our work and mission. COVID-19. As a function of the organization is to teach English classes, where the people who participate in our programs may not have sufficient means to acquire a computer. All those who attend the place in person will be asked to provide proof of their vaccination against the COVID-19 virus, and those who are not will be asked to always wear a mask in order to protect everyone. The necessary hygiene and safety measures will be taken to prevent the spread of the virus, as well as we will have cleaning and antibacterial products in the facilities to make the establishment a safer place. As a specific legal area of concern, I have chosen the economic sustainability. We will focus on the economic sustainability that must be found in the organization for it to prevail over time, focusing on long-term financial planning. We will carry out the realization of a strategic plan so that the organization can sustain itself for at least the next 5 years. A second chance will be incorporated as a non-profit organization. This will benefit the organization because all events that will be held where money is raised for the organization's benefit will be exempt from federal and state taxes. This will also benefit us in limiting our liability from the organization activities. Once the organization has obtained the tax-exempt status, the organization will be able to apply for state and private grants. This, in turn, will attract donors to donate to our organization, and they will enjoy the possibility of having tax deductions. Another reason why incorporation will benefit us financially is because we will not be obligated to pay property tax. We will focus on the intelligent search for sponsors who are interested in supporting the organization on an ongoing basis. We will also search for and apply for state grants, such as the Washington Equity Relief Funds for nonprofits, as well as continually reviewing the Washington state funding sources websites where we will be able to find different grants that are offered throughout the year. Once the organization have applied for grants, our mission will be to demonstrate how the donated money will be used. In principle, the money will be used to cover the salary expenses of the workers, as well as the physical upkeep of the property. This will be necessary since once the remodeling is done, the facilities will not need improvement for some years. In case of the organization will have as its most important event annual a gala dinner in which people from both the public and private sector will be invited, which are in place to provide donations of graded amounts. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have enjoyed the presentation.